To move through our area into tomorrow, the chance for a foggy drive pops up as well. We're on your side with how long the fog is going to stick around.
And we're not the only ones seeing wicked weather. We take you around the country to other places who are experiencing significant events.
And we take a deep dive into why the heavy rain and flooding in Dubai is being called an historic event.
WBRC Fox 6 News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Well, thank you for staying with us for our First Alert Weather Extra. Tania, Lauren, it depends on where you were today. I know some of us are like, where's the rain? But for some of us, it's been pouring.
It kind of reminds you of summer a little bit. People are like, it rained. I got a 100% chance of rain at my house. And everyone else is like, I was hot and dry. So all depends, right?
Yeah, and it was definitely humid today. I was just outside and I'm like, ooh, it's a little sticky. So it feels like the summer.
Hey, we're about to have to break out the muggy meter. So we're going to have to get ready. We're getting into that mode already. We do have some mugginess out there. That's one of the reasons why we're talking about the possibility of some fog tonight. That is going to be a big concern for us later on. Right now, though, a live look from Summiton. It's been off and on rain here. We've been watching this camera over the past couple of hours, and I know the rain's been coming down across parts of Walker County, but this has been the scene for a lot of us today. Just clouds. It's felt nice out there with the temperatures in the 70s. Not a lot of rain down into Shelby County. Tuscaloosa right now looks mainly dry down to Mountville and Greensboro, Utah. Fayette, we're catching a break in the rain, but there's this axis of wet weather, and as we talked about, as this move further south, it would weaken and thin out, but there's still a chance tonight. There's a little boundary in here as that moves its way southward this evening. There still could be some showers that pop up, perhaps a thunderstorm. So that forecast is still there for an isolated storm or two for this evening. But some rain happening still in Walker County around Cordova. You can see there around Kershaw and Dora areas. It's nothing extreme, but just enough to keep those roadways wet out there. So take it slow this evening. Notice into Blount County, down into St. Clair County, and there's Pine Mountain getting some rainfall. Compton and Palmerdale crossing Highway 75 and Highway 79 there, looking over towards Straight Mountain and Whitney Junction. A nice pocket of rain, actually a thunderstorm. Notice the lightning count with this, seeing 9 strikes. So there are some updated lightning strikes here and still a storm. So you're going to hear those rumbles. But notice that stretch of Interstate 59 being impacted from near Caldwell, right there close to Horsepins 40 and areas back in towards Attala. Going to run into some rain. Certainly going to be some slowdowns there. And then back into northern Calhoun County, Etowah County there around Gadsden. Got some rumbles of thunder happening. So these scattered storms, that's the next big thing. That first alert for some scattered storms through this evening. A few showers, again some fog later on tonight. This weekend still looks like a good chance for some wet weather. Just kind of showing you, at least for this evening, those higher rain chances still kind of favor this zone in here towards the north. Notice how the rain chances drop off quite a bit further south you go. I think by midnight, just after midnight tonight, most of this wet weather is going to be out of here. But again, the weekend, we'll talk more about those rain chances. Still looks like Sunday's the day we could have quite a bit of rain out there as well. We'll have more specifics on that long-range forecast coming up in Weather Extra.
And this comes as a powerful storm system continues to bring damaging wind gusts and tornadoes across parts of the U.S. Millions of Americans from the Great Lakes to the eastern U.S. were impacted by this potent storm system on yesterday as it continues to head towards the East Coast today. This comes after the Midwest also experienced tornadoes and hail. The National Weather Service saying this system spun more than half a dozen twisters on Tuesday alone, including in Kansas. Communities are now surveying the damage after winds uprooted trees and ripped some buildings from their foundations.
Had trees down, some power lines down, a camper here at the Smithville Lake campground was overturned.
I got to the ramp down there and I looked out and it was just like a wall of water coming at us.
And as damaging winds could impact parts of the Southwest today, it can also put some states at greater risk for wildfires.
This also comes as scientists say the eastern U.S. should brace itself for more tornadoes. This is after a new study has researchers noting that destructive storms appear to be shifting east. They say this shift is coming from changes in the climate, which they also say is leading to warmer and wetter weather at night, raising the odds for nocturnal tornadoes.
What we've noticed over time is the precipitation line in the Great Plains shifting east a little bit. So the western Great Plains, western Kansas, western Nebraska, western Oklahoma, they're just running a little bit drier in those spots than maybe previous period of time. And so your precipitation has shifted east a little bit. Well, we've also seen a higher frequency of tornadoes.
And even though tornadoes are year-round weather events, late April to mid-May is when the strongest twisters can occur. But don't go anywhere. In 30 seconds, we take you around the world to places where significant weather events are taking place. We'll be right back. You're watching First Alert Weather Extra.
Well, it's time to break down those rain chances over the next several days. And while we have some wet weather out there on the radar for this evening, you can see tomorrow and Friday still some of these scattered pockets of rain and thunderstorms will be popping up. I think tomorrow need to watch it for the late afternoon into the evening. And then for Friday, could see a few showers around early on, but especially in the evening. Saturday at this point doesn't look like a washout. Big Talladega weekend coming up. I think Sunday's the day we could see the greatest coverage of rain. Not seeing severe weather this weekend, but certainly looks like some wet weather will be possible. And I'll be back with more on temperatures and the next 7 days in the extended forecast.
Thanks, Wes. And around the world, a massive forest fire is blazing through the outside of Mexico City, with at least 20 of Mexico's 32 states battling fires. Government officials saying the wildfires have torched more than 120,000 acres, with many of these fires harming protected natural areas. Forest fires have been burning and spreading across Mexico since March, which also comes as the country is already facing severe droughts and high temperatures. And in Indonesia, at least 800 people were evacuated following multiple volcanic eruptions. The volcanic activity has been happening for about 3 days, spewing lava and ash into the sky. With ferries helping transport people out of the Ruawing Island, most of it has now been fully evacuated. But across the United Arab Emirates, a historic weather event brought the heaviest rainfall in the country's 75-year recorded history. The National Center of Meteorology saying that the highest rainfall recorded during Monday's storm was 10 inches in less than 24 hours, passing anything documented since the start of data collection in 1949. On Dubai's roads, the heavy downpour forced some drivers to abandon their vehicles and run to safety. Dubai, like the rest of the UAE, does not have the infrastructure to handle so much water. But why else was this historic rain event for the UAE? Meteorologist Lauren Linehan joins us now to explain more about this phenomenon.
Hey, Tania. Well, as we look at the satellite loop here, so on our infrared satellite, this is looking at the United Arab Emirates, which is part of the Middle East. It is just to the east of Saudi Arabia. And you'll notice this big blow up of convection around the United Arab Emirates. Now, Dubai is about 9 hours ahead of us. So we're looking at most of this happening during their time on Tuesday from a powerful low pressure system. Dubai is actually a desert climate, so it just doesn't get a lot of rain like this. And if you know anything about Dubai, it is a huge urban area. So when Tania was talking about not having the infrastructure to support it, I want you to think about when Birmingham gets heavy rainfall or when Central Alabama does. Where is the area more likely to flood? Birmingham, because it is an urban area. So we can look here at this radar loop from going into, this was Monday 11 o'clock at our time, but this was Monday 8 p.m. in Dubai. And so we go forward in time and you begin to see just continuous rain that is coming through. Very heavy rainfall. They got 2 years worth of rainfall in one day. And the problem is Dubai just doesn't see much rainfall ever because it is a desert climate. So it's very rare to see this type of rain. As we look at the monthly average rainfall, you can see there is no month, even in its wetter season, which is January through March, that even typically records up to an inch of rainfall. There are some months like September, one of the driest months they have, that you don't get any rainfall at all. So there are several theories as to why this happened. Well, the jet stream is very active, the southern jet stream, which is bringing in that low pressure system that can cause rainfall. There's a question if you have the climate warming and you have the air able to hold more water vapor as it gets warmer, could you see more events like this, or could it be something like cloud seeding, which they have to do there to support more rainfall? We'll continue to investigate it here on Weather Extra. But hey, still back here at home, we've got our own rain to deal with. Hopefully no flooding in the forecasts. We'll look at those weekend rain chances coming up after the break.
Welcome back in. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt tracking a strong thunderstorm right now that's south of Hood, also around the Still area. That's going to be moving to the east there. You can see at about 30 miles per hour, but there might be some small hail with this, some gusty winds. So just giving you that first alert, our friends here north of Raglan to Attala. But we've had some of these stronger thunderstorms mixed in today. Not a major risk for severe thunderstorms, but don't be surprised if you start to hear more frequent rumbles out of this, some gusty winds and some heavier rain as this moves on to the east. But we'll be back to track this right now. Want to give you a quick update on that morning drive forecast. It could be foggy out there. Let's check in with Matt and Mickey.
What's my foghorn?
Oh, are you hinting?
Yes, I'm hinting.
Oh.
I am hinting.
He's hinting at something.
You have been hinted at. We could see some fog developing come tomorrow morning.
That's right. So if you're going out traveling late tonight, overnight, of course there could still be some showers this evening, but we'll see some improvement around midnight. But just want to use some caution tomorrow morning. There could be some fog developing, especially in the areas that received some rainfall, so mainly along and north of 2059. So we got a look at your tomorrow morning drive cast. Out of a scale of 1 to 10, 1 meaning it's not going to happen, 10 meaning it will happen. We've got about a 5 or 6 for fog tomorrow morning, but I don't think you have to worry too much about rain or wind.
Well, typically with fog, you don't have much wind anyway, do you?
No.
Okay.
If you do, you don't have fog.
Yes, there you go. So your morning drive, especially in areas north of 2059, that's where we're expecting most of that rainfall to develop, and that's where we could see most of that fog develop.
Yeah, so showing maybe visibility about a mile or less. So just want to use some caution just to allow some extra time. Of course, you're going to want to watch us on Good Day Alabama. We'll give you those updates just in case there is some fog that forms in some spots. But of course, a lot of this fog could be because of the rain that we're seeing today. So we're going to talk about precipitation fog. Got a warm layer up aloft in the atmosphere, and that warm air mass moves in above the surface during those rainy conditions.
So it's just raindrops become warmer as they pass through the warm layer and they evaporate in the cooler layer near the surface, and there you have it, some fog.
Yeah, you get some lingering moisture, some light wind, and then sometimes you can see some fog develop. So that's one thing that we're going to be watching tomorrow. So just be monitoring that. And of course, if you're going to want to know what you want to wear for tomorrow, it's going to be very warm tomorrow morning, low to mid 60s, kind of muggy. So shorts, t-shirt. You might need the sunglasses tomorrow afternoon. We may end up seeing a little bit of peaks of some
That
sunshine.
blouse is not going to go with my shoes. I can tell you that right now.
Well, you might be a good look for you.
I like the hat though. It is nice.
It's a good color on you.
Okay.
Anyways, if you see some fog tomorrow morning or a gorgeous sunrise, some sunshine, some flowers, anything, feel free to submit those photos through the WBRC First Alert weather app. We'd love to see it. We'd love to show it right here on Weather Extra.
Hope I'll be able to see it. You know, it's a little foggy.
It'll clear up by 9 a.m.
Okay.
I was just asking Tania. She helps Matt and Mickey with the what to wear forecast, just to let everybody know. All right, Adair Tire right now in Gardendale. We've got a lot of rain out there, some wet roadways, so take it slow this evening. And there's this axis of rain that's been slowly moving south across the northern half of the area. It has been a rainy day for areas north of I-20. Further south, we haven't seen a lot, but there's still a chance tonight that we could see some wet weather develop south of Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Pell City, and Anniston. But let's get in here closer to where the rain's happening, and notice how it just develops out of nowhere. You see this just kind of reforms, and that's this axis of unsettled weather right there just south of Jasper. More rain. It's just off and on around Parrish and stretches over towards Dora. That little area of rain also between Warrior and Gardendale, Morris, and then back into southern Blount County. Actually, one of the stronger storms at the moment is this one we've been tracking here, pushing south of Gadsden. You can see there that's moving into places like the Highway 77 corridor, Ohatchee, moving in that direction. Alexandria, I think northern Calhoun County, we're going to see some heavier rain out of that, but there's some loud rumbles happening. And Springville, giving you the first alert there. Notice some heavy rain moving in now. So that's Springville Lake Estates and Holly Springs getting some heavier rain now, starting to move a little bit further southward there into St. Clair County. So we'll continue to track that. Again, wet weather, you can see by 11 o'clock tonight, still showing up out there a bit further south. But as Matt had noted just a few moments ago, a lot of this by midnight is going to start to fall apart, and then we've got the fog development early in the day, so watch out for that early tomorrow morning. The rest of the day for tomorrow, though, there's going to be some decent breaks out there and a big warm up. We bumped that high temperature up to 85 degrees and starting to feel a little bit more humid, and you know the story. We start to warm up, we have the mugginess, and there's a chance we could see a little bit of rain later in the day. We're still thinking there could be some scattered showers and storms. This is showing this wet weather not popping up until after 5 o'clock. So tomorrow, you want to do some yard work, mow the lawn, get out there, do some gardening. It looks like most of the day we'll catch some breaks out there, but watch out for maybe a passing storm during the afternoon. We'll be watching the radar closely. I think Friday and Saturday, a similar setup. Friday, though, could see a little bit of rain earlier in the day. Saturday, it's still hit or miss. I don't see an all-day washout, but what happens is during this time frame, a front's going to move through, a cold front. and the temperatures tumble on Sunday, but we actually end up with some post-frontal precipitation. It looks like a shield of light to moderate rain moves in, not severe storms, but just a good coverage of wet weather, kind of overcast and dreary. That setup looks to unfold there later on Sunday. So at this point, still looks like a good chance of rain for Sunday in the afternoon. I know we have the Talladega race, a chance that could be impacted there later on. Hopefully that changes, but we will certainly keep you well informed. But at this point, Sunday still looks like the wetter day this weekend. Notice how we cool off, cool and rainy, lows in the 40s at night early next week. But don't worry, not expecting frost or freezing temperatures. I had someone today ask me, said, I just planted and you're saying cold front, but Tania, we're not talking about freezing kind of cold front here.
No frost.
Yeah.
No frost, guys. No frost. But let's take a look here at our first alert weather calendar. You'll see that, yes, we do have the possibility for those scattered showers and storms Thursday and Friday, and even for the weekend, but more of that rain being likely for your Sunday. We are dry as we start next week, and then we bring in Friday of next week, where we could see another rain chance in the forecast, and that could carry into the start of next weekend. But more dry days as we end off the month of April, so that's pretty cool. And it looks like we're starting dry as we bring in the month of May. So that's a quick look there at our forecast on that first weather calendar, those rain chances. But what about that 6 to 10 day temperature outlook? April 23rd through the 27th. Looks like here across Alabama, we could be seeing above average temperatures. And then what about our rainfall? How's rain looking for us between April 23rd through the 27th? Well, across the U.S., looks like majority of us are going to be experiencing above average rainfall, maybe excluding some portions along the East Coast like North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina, and parts of Georgia. But for us, we're looking right near average. A lot of that above average rainfall is really including some of our western counties and areas further to the west in Mississippi, Arizona, New Orleans, and in Texas. So that's a look beyond the 7 day. But let's talk about the busy morning I had hanging out with a bunch of kids. It was fun. Here's a recap of my weather visit earlier this morning. Today I made my way to Fairfield, Alabama. I drove and drove and drove and drove. And then I finally arrived to Foundation's Early Learning and Family Center, and I got to meet all the amazing young kiddos in the classroom. Look at these beautiful faces. They were so excited to learn about the weather.
Our meteorologist, Miss Tonia. So you guys turn on your listening ears and listen to what she has to tell you about the weather.
Wispy like feathers, very delicate, not loud. What are some things you see in the sky besides clouds? Birds, planes, right? Bugs, helicopters, yeah. All stand up because we're gonna move like a tornado. Tornadoes, all it is basically rotating air. So we're gonna spin around like a tornado. Everyone spin around. Yeah, that's exactly what a tornado does. And when a tornado is moving through an area, because it spins, it literally picks up anything. And you know, you can't have kids sitting inside for too long, so we got in line and we made our way outdoors. They became meteorologists for the day and forecasted the weather. The kids learned so much, and until next time, I'm meteorologist Tania Michelle, WBRC Fox 6 News, always on your side. Wave to the camera, guys. They got me waving to the camera too. A special thank you to Martin East, the faculty, and the staff at Foundation's Early Learning and Family Center for inviting me out. If you would like to schedule a weather visit, you can always visit weatherintheclassroom.com. But don't go anywhere. We have that final check on your weather right here after the break. Literally up. Really? I tested it before. Let me show you.
Did you want to show those pictures?
Look at that.
Okay. Oh, it's in the VO. Okay. Oh, cool. That's what they were talking about today.
Yep.
Oh,
now, if
great.
It works, I don't know if it works, but I mean.
Not Willie the Weather Kid, no.
I know.
Well, we love to show off the photos y'all show on the First Alert Weather app. This is from one of our weather watchers, Tyler Young, from his trip in Arizona.
That's pretty.
And then this is from Weiss Lake at Sand Rock. Gorgeous photos. It almost looks like the coast.
It
Yeah,
does.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
Those clouds there.
Jason, thank you,
Yeah,
Jason.
getting some beach vibes from Weiss Lake. And then, guys, we just decided to take you around the world to Italy. Why not? A Tuscany sunset.
Oh, I love it.
That is gorgeous.
Thank you, Melanie.
Yeah.
Almost looks like, I thought for a moment there that was Trussville, Alabama.
Yeah, it does kind of have some Central Alabama vibes.
It does.
I mean, I like our pizza around here, but I figure
Yeah.
the one in Tuscany may be just
A little bit better.
Just a little
The bread
bit.
too, all that.
Well, if you're going out for pizza tonight, what are we tracking? Leslie?
Yeah, we got some wet weather still out there. We've got this area where it's just rain. It just keeps developing. Notice that there's some storms right now in the St. Clair, Etowah County. If you're hearing those rumbles, not severe, but there might be some small hail, some heavier rain in those areas. But we'll continue to track it.
Absolutely, and we'll have more forecast updates tonight, first at 9. Don't go anywhere, guys. Keep it right here, Channel 6.
Every evening.